Altavista, Bedford, and Gretna.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Perfect timing as the national anthem concludes here at Appomattox County High School. Raiders and Colonels set to tip in just a second. Kyle Hoehne hanging out with you, and we're glad to have you along for the ride. Jerry Rice already checking in, saying he is ready for a fun night of basketball and a big day for Altavista athletics tomorrow. We're so excited to have you listening, Coach Rice. Oh, getting the big introductions here from the public address man at Appomattox County High School. I love it. Fans seem to love it as well. It is a loud gym. Sometimes when the gym gets refurbished and redone, it's quieter. Not here. I think it's gotten louder at Appomattox County High School. So, apologies if you do have trouble hearing. Devin Shelton doesn't have trouble hearing. He says he's got us locked in. Devin Shelton will be ready for a couple big days of basketball, including his Oklahoma City Thunder. They will be hosting the Sacramento Kings tomorrow. That's how plugged in to the association basketball scene I am, Devin, and that's not just for you. I'm a fan in my own right. Hello to Sam Guthrie, who always checks in and says he's listening. Hello to my guy, Dandy Dan Dunkel, and Daniel Lanier. Dandy Dan, the bullfighting man, Dan Lanier, has a big event at the Old Dominion Ag Complex in Chatham tomorrow. TrueGritRodeo.com if you want to check it out. We'll say hi to C.J. Boyd and Skyler, Jalen Jones, Sherry Johnson, Coach Johnson's mother, who always likes to tune in when she can't make to the games in person. Hello to Glenn and Linda Miller. Hello, Ann Eads. Robbie Dawson, my guy Robbie Dawson's going to be down there for the Altavista Athletics Hall of Fame tomorrow. Joshy, Gerard Barksdale, the Haskins family, the Tweedy family. Got to be listening. Dean Hubbard might be tuned in right now. Hello, Ty Gafford. Hello to Stephen Morales, and the list goes on and on. We'll keep the list going on. Hello, Danny Barber, tuning in on Broad Street in Altavista. Here come the starters for the Appomattox Raiders. They're 11-6, coached by Rashad Kelso. They average 55.5 points per game. Been struggling scoring points lately. We'll talk about that in just a moment. They're going to start number 0 as senior Camden Flight. Number 2, a senior, Max Nitty. Number 3, senior Riley Chandler. And number 15, sophomore Owen Chavis. Rounding out the starting lineup, number 10, Montravius Fitch. Correction. It's number 5. First-year man Levi Mann will start for Appomattox in their home white jerseys with the blue trim. Altavista 9-6 this season, coached by Casey Johnson in his 6th year. They're going to go with a familiar starting lineup. Number 0, Christian Garvin Jr. Number 2, a junior Andrew Stone. Number 3, senior Sean Clay. Number 4, junior Spence Fisher. And number 22, wearing number 22 tonight, Jontez Lee, the first-year man, freshman phenom. Sean Clay in jump circle. He'll win the tip against Owen Chavis. Let's play some high school basketball. Colonels in the front court right, but they've got it stolen away. Riley Chandler with the interception. Now it's in the deep left corner to Camden Flight. Appomattox scoring on the basket closest to me. I'm up in the top step of the bleachers here at Appomattox County High School. Chavis going to play through a double team that turned into a triple team. Passed away from it to Max Nitty. Ball's back on the perimeter here for Appomattox as they work right to left from my perspective in front of a great home crowd. Bunch of Colonel fans have made the trip as well. Corner three-pointer from Max Nitty was a brick. Rebounded by Spence Fisher for Altavista. Hustles it up ahead to Jontez Lee, who's got his foot on the gas. He'll get to the left mid-post, stop, change directions. Now the pass goes cross-court right to Andrew Stone, but that's high and out of bounds. Appomattox will take over. We're 54 seconds into the first quarter. It's brought to you by English's, your complete home center, North Main Street in Altavista. Hello to the English's crew. I bet we'll see some of them for the Hall of Fame ceremonies tomorrow. Brent and Donnie, rest of the team down there, Fran. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. Getting ready for this Groundhog Day holiday. Got to get some Groundhog Day references tomorrow, Keith. Remind me to do that. KP, I hope you're listening. Camden Flight went flying to the basket. He got whacked on his right shoulder and elbow. The shot rimmed off, and now Flight having a chance to break the 0-0 tie from the free throw stripe. The first one's up and good. So there you go. First lead of the evening belongs to the Appomattox Raiders. Colonels did not lead the entire time Tuesday night against William Campbell, but it felt that way. Altavista really in control from about midway through the first quarter on. There's a barrage of three-pointers in there. It's been some of the theme this season. When Altavista has success, a lot of times it's this guy Andrew Stone. That time the triple try was short. One and done that trip in the front court for Altavista. Rebounded at the free throw line by Appomattox's big man, Owen Chavis. Chavis has the basketball back, pop passing inside to feed it to Levi Mann. He was on the right low block, went up and scored it. It's now a 4-0 Raider advantage. Colonels have lost it again. A couple early turnovers for Altavista, and the shooting hasn't been great either. Basketball was not really possessed by anybody on this near left sideline, and Camden Flight went flying into the Altavista bench to try to save it, but he was already standing beyond the boundary. Colonels will put the ball back in. Jump pass from Jontez Lee, right to left. Now Spence Fisher dribbling to the left sideline. It's all the way in the right corner quickly to Andrew Stone. He'll drive the baseline, and his pass stolen away. Another turnover for the Colonels, at least 3 early in this ball game. Credit the Raiders defense for a lot of pressure. 2 minutes into the contest, Appomattox leading 4-0. Raider basketball in the left forecourt. Chavis came away from the post to catch that lob pass. Good ball movement. They pop it back out to Riley Chandler. He'll stroke for 3. It's in and out, and no good. Christian Garvin, the rebound. He'll keep dribbling into the front court. Got to the head of the key. Passed left to Spence Fisher. Garvin will get it back. He's on the hunt for a basket. Went up, got whacked, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Presence there by Christian Garvin to realize the Colonels had been struggling with some turnovers. And I think Garvin actually smart there to dribble more. You know, sometimes you listen to coaches and fans, they'll tell you that dribbling is a bad thing, and it can be. But when Altavista had multiple passes taken away, why not give it to one of your better ball handlers? Let him go on the scavenger move, try to get to the rim, which Garvin is so good at. He did miss the first free throw. Second one's coming up in just a second. That one does go in, and Altavista's on the board, trailing 4-1. I guess you could call it a low-scoring affair to start. Good effort by Flight. He went into the scorer's table to try to save an errant pass, but that's a turnover from Appomattox. So credit Altavista's defensive pressure there. Colonels are 9-6 on the season. They average just a shade under 60 points per game, giving up 54 points per game. Appomattox is at 55.5 scoring. They give up 51. And scoring has been down for the Raiders lately. Hold that thought as Christian Garvin is on the move again. Baseline jumper coming. That is so smooth right there from Christian Garvin. You know he wants to get to the rim, so you have to give some ground. Then he rises up for a little silky floating fadeaway. Camden Flight, in a heartbeat, is back down on the other side, scoring a lay-in. 6-3 is the advantage right now for Appomattox. Sean Clay got the basketball. One dribble, gave it up. Feels like Clay hasn't really touched the rock much. Christian Garvin, traveling violation, just left of center, 23 feet away from the hoop. We've got 5:10 left in quarter one. It's brought to you by English's, your complete home center. North Main Street in Altavista, 6-3. Raiders by 3. 65-57 was the score of the first contest. That was an Appomattox win. And the Raiders were really rolling early. I mentioned a 10-2 start for Appomattox. 1-5 since then. And in their last 5, they've been held to under 57 points in every single game. Been held under 50 in 3 of those last 5 games. Missed shot, rebounded by Fisher. Long lead pass up ahead to Jontez Lee. Got his shot blocked and actually fell down, and the ball hit him while he was out of bounds. Just randomly, it wasn't like one of those social media videos where a guy throws it off a player intentionally when he's out of bounds, but it will be Appomattox basketball. They're facing full court pressure from the Altavista Colonels. Flight has it. Fastball, cross-court pass to Owen Chavis. His three-pointer from the right wing never drew iron, and that ball spills out of play. On the court right now for the Colonels, still the starters: Spence Fisher, Jontez Lee, Sean Clay, Christian Garvin, and Andrew Stone. Still the same starting quartet for the Appomattox Raiders. We'll run them down here for you in a second. It's Altavista basketball with 4:25 left on the first quarter clock. Garvin lost it. Stolen by Riley Chandler after a loose dribble. Raiders on the move quickly. Nitty bouncing inside to Levi Mann. He'll power up for 2 more. Mann's got 4. Blythe has 4. Raiders have 8. This is their biggest lead of the evening at 5. Midway through the first quarter, Spence Fisher playing through the traffic. Offloads to Andrew Stone in the corner. He went up and it was swiped out of his hands. Number 14, J.Q. Ferguson in the game for Appomattox. He's on the move, hustling in the front court and handing off to Levi Mann, who scores again. 10-3. Raiders by 7. Altavista really desperate for a basket right now, at least very hungry. Garvin lost it again, stripped away by a tag team there of Nitty and Ferguson. Ferguson then lost the handle. Altavista basketball. Sean Clay sprinting into the front court with a right-hand dribble, just right of center. Lost it. No, timeout. Timeout on the court as he was about to lose it. Casey Johnson from Altavista will take time. We'll step aside for 30 as well. 3:27 remaining in the first. It's Appomattox 10, Altavista 3 on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Hello, I'm Trey Finch, the 5th generation of Finch family to serve this community. We are proud to be the only Virginia funeral home to win the Pursuit of Excellence Award from the National Funeral Directors Association. We offer many products and services in addition to the ones that are expected, such as pet cremation and burial, custom printing. We also capture your loved one's DNA and fingerprints and have many options to go along with that. And of course, our most popular employee, Oliver, the Golden Doodle therapy dog, which is available to all families at their time of need. Please reach out to us if you'd like to learn more about us and what we have to offer.
This is Altavista High School Sports on WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg, 105.5 KD Country.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista Colonels inbound after the timeout. We've got 3:20 left to play in the first quarter. Changes for Altavista. Jamari Slayton and Grayson Cox in the ball game. Cox missed from the lane line right on a floater, but he got waylaid on a flyby move from the player committing the infraction was number 15, Owen Chavis. His first, Raiders' second as a ball club. And it will send Grayson Cox to the free throw line right, the far line from my perspective, to shoot 2 for the Colonels. Right-handed shooting sophomore had the first one a bit too strong, and it's a miss. Andrew Stone's back in the ball game for Altavista. So is Spence Fisher. Fisher, Stone, John Tisley, Grayson Cox, and Jamari Slayton. Here comes Cox's second one. Bends the knees. Didn't have the weight on that one as well. Too much. And it's rebounded in the middle of the lane by Levi Mann. Boy, he's playing really good for a first-year guy. I remember thinking about Levi Mann the first time around, but I'm not sure he stood out this much. His game has progressed. Camden Flythe. He'll fire from the left corner and not miss the triple. Flythe has 7 of Appomattox, his 13, and the Raiders are now on top by 10. They've led this entire ball game. Spence Fisher tried to rocket a pass downstairs to John Tesley, and it was poked out of bounds. Altavista will reset. Jamari Slayton's going to press the start button from the left baseline, just underneath the Colonel's scoring basket. Short pass into Spence Fisher. He'll lean in, banging, barging, shoots and scores. Good job to play through some contact there from Spence Fisher. Nice finish in traffic. 13-5. Altavista down by 8. Chavis double-teamed 40 feet away from the basket. Passes to the center circle. Now it's a drive and a dish to Flythe. One more time. Same spot, same result. Back-to-back triple plays from Camden Flythe. Made them both from that left corner. He's got 10 of the Raiders' 16. What a performance here early. 2:19 left to play in quarter one. Hanging jump shot from Spence Fisher wouldn't fall. And it's another one and done. Appomattox rebounding really good. Not many, if any, second chances for Altavista to speak of offensively. Colonels defend the basket to my left. That's nearest the entrance here at Appomattox. Same entrance, same building, all that stuff. Just a refurbish. More than just a coat of paint, though. They've definitely done a little bit of work to the bones here in this gymnasium that had been around for a while. And it was one that I always talked about how much I loved because it was a little bit older and it had that unique vibe. You felt like you were watching the movie Hoosiers. Happy birthday, Gene Hackman. I believe he celebrated a birthday recently. He was the legendary coach in Hoosiers, along with his other fantastic roles as we talk about the Hollywood scene. Missed three-pointer from Andrew Stone, but the Colonels are going to get the ball back. Stone pushes up ahead to Sean Clay. He'll run it up and in for two from the left side. Clay's in the books for the first time tonight, and Altavista has the deficit cut. 16-7 right now, the Raider lead. Advantage 9 for the home team. Colonels scrambling. I think they're playing out of a 1-3-1 zone right now for Altavista. It may just be the 2-3 that's changing its shape and morphing. Wow, Camden Flythe again. A three-pointer from the other corner this time. He's moving around on the map and still making buckets. 19-7. I think Flythe has 13 of it. He's got a rebound, too, on a missed Christian Garvin triple. 60 seconds left to play in quarter number one. 19-7. Raiders by 12. Use the phrase again, biggest advantage of the night for Appomattox. Chavis staring at the rim, thinking about a three. He'll dribble twice and get closer. Flight had his mitts on it, but it got popped away. A little jab move, can opener from Jamari Slayton. Ball's in the front row. Actually, I'm in the top row here, so this is row like 10. And we had a ball that I got my hands on in the JV game. And just this strange mixture of physics and random chance. The ball somehow ended up here in the 10th row in the JV game. Happy to report that I fumbled the catch and didn't secure the possession for the KD Country broadcast team. Down to 40 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Raiders have it back inbounds. Colonels defending the basket to our left with Garvin, Fisher, Lee, Clay, and Jamari Slayton. Here's Chavis. He spent a lot of time on the perimeter today. Owen Chavis, normally an inside bruiser. Yeah, he's going to try a three-pointer right now. That looked good, but popped out. Offensive chance coming on a second chance for Appomattox as they got the rebound. They've now thrown it away, though. Max Nitty, Riley Chandler, rather, tried to hustle over to midcourt and save it. Couldn't get to the basketball in time. So Altavista with the rock. 16 seconds left to play in quarter number one. Colonels down by 12. Good pop passing to get Slayton free for three, and he drains it from the left corner. Jamari Slayton's in the books. Colonels needed that. 5 on the timer here in the quarter. Raiders are not in a rush. Still in the backcourt, and they are not going to get a buzzer-beating try off. Maybe momentum carried into quarter number 2 for Altavista. We'll see. A Jamari Slayton 3 gets Altavista within 9. Appomattox 19. Colonels 10 after one quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
The De Heavenly Home of Altavista would like to show their support and wish the Altavista Colonels a great season. Licensed by the Department of Behavioral Health, the De Heavenly Home assists clients with intellectual and developmental disabilities and currently accepts waivers or private pay. For more information, contact Zakaya Pinnell at 434-251-3466 or email them at thedeheavenlyhome@gmail.com. Let's go, Colonels!
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Appomattox 19, Altavista 10. A really good first quarter for Appomattox. They were led by 5'11" senior Camden Flythe. He scored some baskets inside, actually had the first points of the game from the charity line. Then Flythe got hot from the exterior, made a couple threes from the left corner, and then he made one from the right corner. Feeling it right now. Let's see if maybe his momentum stalled out by the quarter break or perhaps just a change in defensive coverage for the Altavista Colonels. I mean, Casey Johnson is certainly letting the guys know you must know where he is. Camden Flythe wearing number 0. Got to have him on your radar the entire time if you're Altavista. 8 more minutes on the board here in half number 1. Slayton with a steal at midcourt, but Appomattox got the basketball back. Javen Alexander's in the game for the Raiders. It's Alexander, Flythe, Nitty, Chavis, and Chandler. Riley Chandler, the 5th. Alexander driving, got cut off. Nice little pocket pass to a cutting Owen Chavis, who will steer one through the iron for 2. Sophomore's first points of the ball game. And now the lead is up to 11 for Appomattox. They have led by a dozen in this contest. 21-10, Altavista losing the basketball on the far right baseline. Colonels have had trouble with turnovers in this ball game. 30 seconds into the English is your complete home center. Second quarter. Altavista, I think that's the most glaring weakness right now. Got to say, rebounding has been a big strength for Appomattox. They have cleared the glass nicely. Colonels have very few, if any, second chances to speak of. Bounce pass to Alexander. He catches on the move, hopping into the lane. Ball is free momentarily, but Max Nitty scrambles to win it back for Appomattox. Raiders look to kind of rebuild a possession. Alexander, he just went swashbuckling right through the defense there. Nobody got in front of him. Couple Colonels swiped at the basketball, but Alexander scores it. And now it's the biggest advantage of the night at 13 for the Raiders. Double dribble by Jamari Slayton. He was harassed by an Appomattox double team. Just a step inside the timeline. We're going to get to see Malachi Ford for his first action of the ball game for the Altavista Colonels. Ford will join Sean Clay, Spence Fisher, Christian Garvin, and Jontez Lee. Colonels defending the basket to my left in their road orange jerseys with the black trim. Three-pointer rimmed off and right into the paws of Christian Garvin. Garvin still running, wanted the coast-to-coast, but he got blocked at the rim by Owen Chavis. Good thought by Christian Garvin, but that rim protection from Owen Chavis, so sound. 6:22 left to play in the second quarter. 23-10 Appomattox. Altavista has used one timeout. And Coach Casey Johnson reluctant to call too many early. Wants the guys to self-organize and figure it out. Altavista went down 15 or 16. You have to feel like maybe Coach Johnson would burn another one. Chavis's three-pointer hit the back plate, got into the hands of Spence Fisher, but he couldn't corral it as he was coming down to the ground. Kind of lost the basketball off his own body. 2 minutes into the second quarter. It's an Appomattox lead, 23-10. Raiders throw it back in. Catch and shoot triple from Levi Mann. First year couldn't strike from the left wing. Good box out from Malachi Ford. And Camden Flythe got on his back for a foul. Excellent positioning from the senior Ford. And Flythe, that's about the only boo-boo on his resume tonight, as he has started with a fantastic ball game. Should be his first foul. First one on Appomattox as a team. Air ball from Malachi Ford. He tried to shoot the long ranger. 5:40 left to play in half number one. Altavista down 13. Raider basketball. Chavis triple teamed again. Clay, Lee, and Ford all around him. Chavis tried to do a little fadeaway jumper that he actually got a clean release on, but missed the shot. Had to be bothered by two players in the windshield and then one kind of in the side view mirror, knocking on the passenger side door there. Malachi Ford inside. He'll barnstorm to the rim, but missed from the right. Colonels will get a second chance this time. Kick back out to Christian Garvin. He went inside, got slapped on the wrist and the elbow. On the floor foul. I do not believe Garvin was in the act of shooting. Andrew Stone will re-enter the contest for the Altavista Colonels. See if maybe Altavista can get a spark from outside. Jamari Slayton hit a three-pointer to end quarter number one. Altavista trailed by 9 after the end of the first frame. Down by 13 right now. Ford left alone outside, bounces one to the low post for Andrew Stone. Stone gets it back after a boomerang from Jamari Slayton. Now it's Spence Fisher just outside the center circle, directing traffic. No dribbles yet. Now he'll pound the floor with it. Gets some separation from a defender. Still pointing. Doesn't have the players where he wants them to yet for this play. Malachi Ford pops free, right of center to catch the chest pass. He'll flip to Jontez Lee. He'll zip it around back to Andrew Stone. Stone had the basketball poked away, but recaptured. Colonels in the front court right, down by 13. Christian Garvin wheeling, getting around a defender. Rim run successful, and Christian Garvin was scored. But Christian Garvin was fouled as he scored. Pardon me. Good, impressive possession from Altavista. They did not rush it. I mentioned, seemed like Spence Fisher was the traffic cop there for a full 10 seconds, just trying to get people in the right place. Garvin gets three the hard way as he makes the free throw. And maybe all the passing and the man movement and ball movement separated Appomattox defensively enough that gave Garvin the avenue he needed to get the jackpot. Colonels within 10, 23-13 after the old-fashioned three-point play from Christian Garvin. Basketball's at the top of the key, 30 feet away. Now it's right side for Appomattox in the front court with the home white jerseys. Skip pass, right sideline to left. Three ball from Riley Chandler was wide left. Offensive rebound by the first-year guy, Levi Mann. Boy, don't leave him out of the conversations. He is having a very good first half for the Raiders. I've got him with 8 points. Garvin catching a high arcing pass. Now driving in left to right through the lane. Ball swatted away by Owen Chavis. Fans are going to let Garvin know about that one. Access denied there as he went through. And then it touched a Colonel on the way out of bounds. It's Raider basketball. Coach Johnson wants more effort from the guys. More physical play, it looks like. Good steal from Jontez Lee. Kind of a grand theft auto right there. The offensive player from Appomattox never saw him coming from behind, but Lee and Jamari Slayton couldn't combine on the points in front of the rim. 25-13. Oh, Chavis from 16 straight away. Book it. Big man's got that mid-range. He's got the long range, too. And now Appomattox a 14-point lead. Play the track again. Biggest advantage of the night for Appomattox. And just kind of progressively keep building this lead. Oh, good reverse finish from Jamari Slayton. Excellent vision to see him at the baseline by Christian Garvin. He should get credit for a fantastic assist. Slayton's got 5. Altavista back within 12. Steal by Jontez Lee. Behind the back dribble. Zigzag. Angling to the rim. And scoring. The first-year man, Jontez Lee, is in the books for Altavista. Colonels have 5 to score. Raiders want to take a timeout. Altavista within 10. Appomattox 27. Altavista 17. 2:49 left to play in half number one on 105.5 KD Country.
We are Lynchburg Garage Door, where excellence meets experience. From secure and functional commercial doors to stylish and sleek residential doors, we do all things overhead doors. Whether you're in the market for a new garage door, installation services, or repairs, Lynchburg Garage Door is here for you. Our dedicated team of experts is committed to delivering top-notch services tailored to your needs. We understand that your garage door is more than just an entry point. It's a statement of your home's personality and style. That's why we offer a wide range of high-quality garage door designs from classic to contemporary, ensuring that you will find the perfect match for your home and personality. From secure and functional commercial doors to sleek and stylish residential doors, we have all of Central Virginia covered. Contact us today and let's open the door to a secure and stylish future together.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
27-17, Appomattox with the lead. Colonels have cut into it, though. Altavista was down 14 moments ago. Just a 10-point disadvantage here for the Colonels. Chavis, fadeaway Jay from the free throw line is no good. And rebounded by Spence Fisher. He'll saunter across the timeline just inside the left sideline. It never stopped moving. Fisher slowed down to first gear, then accelerated to the backboard for a deuce. Spence Fisher with a basket to get Altavista within 8. There's an offensive foul. Chavis using the free arm too much on the dribble to try to shed a defender there. That's his second infraction. Appomattox is fourth of the quarter. Next one puts Altavista in the bonus. We have 2:19 left to play in this second quarter. That's presented by English is your complete home center. Home for Atrium Vinyl Windows and Doors. I talk about them in the wintertime, but they'll save you money in the summertime as well. Keep the air inside in and keep the cold or hot outside air out. Steele at midcourt. Raiders have it. Good 3-on-2 fast break fundamentals to pass away from the defenders and pop it over to number 2, Max Nitty. Nitty's in the books. The lead is back to 10 for Appomattox, 29-19. High arcing three from Jontez Lee. Overshot the mark. Trying to get his own rebound back on the misfire, but can't. Raiders working quickly. Transition offense. Flythe scores. And he got hit by Spence Fisher. Fisher tried to take the charge. And the official will call a blocking foul instead. So Flythe's busy night continues. Camden Flythe. That will be points 15 for him. Timeout on the court. It's just a 30-second one, so let's keep it right here. Flythe will have a free throw when this timeout is over. Just over 1:48 left to play. And the English is your complete home center. Second quarter, back to English is really quick. Atrium Vinyl Windows and Doors. Not only are they going to save you money, they're stylish, easy to install, easy to maintain, easy to clean. Check them out at English is your complete home center, along with the other brands that you know and trust. They'll be open at 8 a.m. tomorrow for your shopping pleasure. 31-19 right now. Altavista is down 13 at the moment. Colonels have trailed this entire game. It's been a lead for Appomattox after opening free throws from Camden Flythe. And if you want to use the racing analogy, at times, looks like Appomattox was about to lap Altavista. Other times, the Colonels seem to get closer and closer, and they close the margin to a car length or two. But right now, the Raiders' hot rod pulling away again just a little bit. And let's see if Flythe can create some more distance. In the game right now for Appomattox, J.Q. Ferguson, Camden Flythe, Max Nitty, number 3, Riley Chandler, and Levi Mann, number 5. Flythe did miss the free throw. We've got 95 seconds left to play in the first half. Colonels in the front court right with Slayton. That's Jamari Slayton, Malachi Ford, Spence Fisher, Christian Garvin, and Jontez Lee. Jamari Slayton getting to the rim again in fantastic style. He turned his back to the bucket about 19 feet away, and that gave him enough space. Defender sort of overplayed that a little bit. Slayton spun and then got on a downhill rack attack. Jamari Slayton with a good first half of basketball. Just 7, but I would argue his impact has been much bigger than that. 65 seconds left to play in the first half. Now 31-21. Raiders by 10, looking for more. Riley Chandler passes to the baseline to Levi Mann. Got stuck in the short corner left. Ejected the basketball out near the midcourt stripe to Max Nitty. He'll sprint from left to right. Pass was off target, picked off by Spence Fisher. Jontez Lee collecting the basketball, got sideswiped by Max Nitty. That's a foul on Nitty, and now 5. Raiders are in the penalty. Altavista in the bonus. It'll be 2 free throws for the freshman Jontez Lee. The Phenom is wearing number 22 tonight. We've seen a variety of jersey selections this year for Jontez Lee. I think it's actually not a variety. I think it's just a simple case of he wears one jersey in the home whites and another in the road oranges. And I can try to confirm that for you tomorrow. First free throw is out from Jontez Lee. Malachi Ford is out of the game. Sean Clay checking back in. Clay joins Lee, Slayton, Garvin, and Fisher. And that's Jabari Slayton. Do need to be specific because we have R.J. Slayton on the roster who's seen good minutes this year as a sophomore. A bruising power inside presence. And we could see him in this game later on. 44.8 seconds left as Jontez Lee misses the second free throw. That one hit front rim, back rim, and then touched that back plating before dropping off. Under 40 seconds to play in the first half now. Raiders passing inside. Javen Alexander, power dribble, and then shoots it back out to the perimeter. And Riley Chandler obliging the great pass with a direct hit from the right wing. Another three-pointer for Appomattox. Lead built back to 13 now. 20 seconds left from the first half clock. Fisher looking over the defense. One-hand pass to the left sideline for Clay. He'll rise and fire. And he missed the mark. Rebounded by Camden Flythe, who's doing nice on the glass as well for Appomattox. 8 on the timer for the Raiders. They're in the front court. Alexander stepping to the hole. High off the window and down for a deuce. 36-21. Jontez Lee from 55 feet was actually on line, but just short. The horn has sounded to end the second quarter. A great half of basketball for Appomattox puts them up 15 walking to the dressing rooms. Raiders 36, Colonels 21. We're back in 90 seconds on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services of Altavista is a heavy industrial contractor specializing in welding and mechanical repair services. PCM is a Class A contractor, both OSHA and MSHA certified. PCM Industrial embraces teamwork and dedication to a common goal. PCM Industrial wishes all of the Colonel athletes and coaches a great, successful season. Go Colonels! Tonight's game is brought to you by these sports club sponsors.
Highview Motors GNC. From small to tall, Highview Motors has it all. Highview Motors, Main Street, Altavista.
El Cerrito. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
Dairy Freeze. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and of course ice cream. They're doing it right at the Freeze on Main Street in Altavista.
Select Air Mechanical and Electrical. Our team is certified and licensed to handle all of your heating and air, plumbing, electrical, design, and build needs.
Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service. Chef's Drive-In, Main Street, Altavista. Thank you to all of our sports club sponsors, and thanks for listening to 105.5 KD Country.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
It's halftime here at Appomattox County High School. They've got their half-court shot going on as well. Good participation from the fans. We've seen a good crowd here tonight. If you're a Raider fan, you have to enjoy the way the first half unfolded. No ties, no lead changes. Raiders wire to wire so far on top, and it's a 15-point advantage at the moment. Appomattox 36, Altavista 21. Raiders did it with a really good blend of outside shooting prowess and then working it in the interior as well. And I have spoken multiple times about how I think Appomattox's rebounding has really stood out and really a big key in this game. The Colonels are like most teams. They get their fair share of offensive rebounds and turn those second and third chances into points a lot of times. And even when you don't do that, you force your opponent to defend more and use more energy. All those sorts of things are factors as well. But tonight, Appomattox has been pretty clean on the defensive glass. I mean, almost spotless with the Windex up there. Colonels haven't rebounded poorly on their defensive side. Appomattox has had a few second chances, but I don't think that's the difference maker. For Altavista, if you look at Coach Casey Johnson's body language, I think he would say the difference maker is maybe the energy and the activity and the physicality. It just looks like his instructions are to the guys to be a bit more physical. Use the body. Yes, you have to use the body in the right ways. Being physical doesn't mean you play more handsy and you slap and swipe and punch and those kinds of things, but it means you put your chest on the guy. You can do that and get away with it. You can use the hips and the posterior and the shoulders a little bit. Referees call you when you use the hands and the elbows, but you use the shoulders and the chest and the backside, like I said, then you can be physical within the rules. You can find what the officials will let you get away with. And again, I don't know, can't hear the conversations from Coach Casey Johnson, but looking at the body language, it seems like he wants more of that. It's a 36-21 ball game right now. 15 points is the deficit for Altavista, and this is the biggest Appomattox lead of the game. I said you could just put that on repeat. Appomattox has steadily grown this lead. And we'll see if that trend continues in the third quarter. If it does, Altavista might not be within reach when the fourth frame rolls around. At the moment, I think the Colonels still have a great chance. We know Altavista can get hot from outside. Colonels have just one three-pointer right now to their total. That was from Jamari Slayton. We'll run down some other unofficial point-scoring totals when we come back. It's high school basketball between Appomattox and Altavista. Raiders on top 15 at the halftime intermission. And you're hearing it live on 105.5 KD Country.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Virginia at highschoolofficials.com.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
A short drive will save you money.
Car buying is simple at Feller Chevrolet. You can buy online or at the store. It's quick, easy, and a clean, safe environment. We have non-commissioned salespeople and a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can buy with confidence. Feller's is also here after the sale. We can do warranty work on all GM cars, not just Chevrolets, and our techs can service all makes and models. No matter what your automotive needs, I promise we can deliver. So come see us. You'll be glad you did.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Haley's Appliance is your hometown appliance store. From AC units to stoves, dishwashers, vacuums, washer and dryers, and so much more. Everything Haley sells, they service. Haley's Appliance is reliable and affordable, so you don't have to sacrifice price for quality. Haley's Appliance, ensuring that your linens are fresh and your dishes are clean. 2 convenient locations, 7th Street, Altavista, and 4th Avenue, Lynchburg. Online at Haleys.com.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Halftime fun here at Appomattox County High School. Raiders lead by 15. Both ball clubs are back out on the court getting some warm-ups and some shooting in here before quarter number 3. And the halftime scoring numbers are unofficial. Keith Piper's actually been doing a great job at this lately. I've gotten spoiled. But I'll try it tonight. What I have for Appomattox, Raiders have 36. Do the math at home and see if this adds up to 36. The old baseball line when the broadcasters would say if you're scoring at home, it's an error on the third baseman. But here we go. Camden Flythe got hot early. I have Flythe for... And this is tough because you got to read your own handwriting here. But it looks to me like Flythe has 15. That is 3 3-pointers, 2 conventional field goals, and 2 free throws. Should add up to 15 for Camden Flythe. Max Nitty with a deuce. Riley Chandler, 3. Javen Alexander, 2. Levi Mann with 8. And Owen Chavis, 4 points for Appomattox. Believe it or not, Camden Flythe is the only player that has made free throws for Appomattox. On the other side, for the Altavista Colonels, Christian Garvin with 6, Sean Clay 2, Spence Fisher 4, Jamari Slayton a good first half with 7, including the only 3-pointer for Altavista that came in the closing seconds of quarter number 1, and Jontez Lee has 2 points as well. I've got the Colonels as being 2 for 9 from the free throw line in the first half. That won't make Coach Casey Johnson a happy camper, but he's talked about how, there's really not a whole lot you can do about that during the game. Yelling at the guys saying make more free throws is pointless because the players know they're supposed to make the free throws. If a guy doesn't have the game plan right, or again, maybe he's not playing with the right energy, the right physicality, that's something you can critique and change for your players. I don't think there's many coaches in the world that would tell you, me telling a guy to make the free throws more is going to help. Well, if that was the case, why wouldn't you just tell him that every time and you'd never miss a free throw, right? I think you see my point, basketball fans. But we will keep an eye on the free throw numbers, obviously. And our sound engineer, myself, Katie, we were talking about New Year's resolutions here as January comes to a close. Wow, the first month of the year has flown by. One of my resolutions this year was to procrastinate less, and I can't wait to get started on that in the month of February. I'm really excited to try that out here as Groundhog Day weekend is upon us. I love Groundhog Day, one of my all-time favorite holidays, and that's actually not a joke. Groundhog Day is one of my favorite holidays for a variety of reasons. Which I think I've discussed on broadcast before and may happen again tomorrow if we have some extra time. But we'll have plenty to dialogue about tomorrow, basketball-wise. And then with the Altavista Colonel Athletics Hall of Fame stuff tomorrow, we'll be talking about those legends and who played with who and who was better than who, and who knows, maybe some halftime guests and pregame guests could materialize. If you remember last year, we had Altavista Hall of Famer and current NFL player Juan Thornhill on the broadcast. That was a lot of fun. Deja Berger jumped on with us some last year, and she deserves a lot of credit for the organization of the Altavista Athletics Hall of Fame. She is not a one-person show by any means, but definitely does a lot of the heavy lifting. And can't wait to tell you more tomorrow. All right, what needs to change for Altavista fans? Well, got to shoot it a little bit better. And I think maybe you crash the glass a little bit more on those missed shots to try and get some second and third chance opportunities. For Appomattox, boy, I don't know if you're the Raiders. You probably just keep your foot on the gas, right? Why go changing? There's a drive from Christian Garvin as he circled the defense, came in from the left, got to the right edge of the hoop, missed the shot, but that's a one and done for Altavista. That ball was partially blocked, by the way, by this man, Owen Chavis. He missed the jumper from the left portion of the lane, 10 feet away. Jamari Slayton starting the third quarter for the Colonels, has the basketball, whips it over right side to Christian Garvin. His pass was intercepted by a high-flying Max Nitty. Got in the airspace there and took it away from Garvin. Team switch sides. Raiders now scoring on the far basket from my perspective. Luke moving left to right. There is a high arcing three from Levi Mann. And I'll tell you what, he stroked that one home from distance. This first-year man is super talented. Levi Mann is sitting on 11 right now. I got to go back through the records here and see what he did in game one, because Levi Mann is, I don't know how we weren't, and maybe we were blown away, and I'm just not recollecting it fully in the first time these two squads met. Turnover at midcourt. Jontez Lee lost it. Appomattox moving quickly to the left side of the hoop. Owen Chavis up off the window and down the steal into the netting for a deuce. Chavis has 6. Timeout by the Colonels. Let's take 30 as well. Appomattox is up 20 all of a sudden. We're just a minute and 1 second into the third quarter. You're hearing the Hoops live on 105.5 KD Country.
Home Center on North Main Street, Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Our score at halftime was 36-21. Now the Raiders have it blown out to a full 20-point advantage, 41-21. Appomattox on top of Altavista, and really you have to say in firm control. Coach Casey Johnson using a timeout. Colonels are down to 2, by the way. Spence Fisher got to the edge of the lane, and his shot was blocked. Raiders, in addition to rebounding well, they block shots well. That's back to that size, and they know how to use it. So in Chavis, left mid-post, now working away from the basket. He forgot to dribble. I shouldn't say forgot to dribble. Maybe Owen Chavis couldn't dribble. Turnover. Altavista needs to really get busy now. 6:30. Brought to you by your complete home center. North Main Street in Altavista. Long diagonal pass from Spence Fisher. Finds Christian Garvin open in the right corner. Garvin does. He dribbles over to Clay. Back to Garvin. Slayton for 3. Nope. Rebounded by Owen Chavis. One and done for the Altavista Colonels. Again, there's another phrase. You could put it on a tape or a record or a digital file. First-year man, Levi Mann, missed from outside. 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Altavista down 20. Scoring in the basket to my left, closest to the entrance here at the newly refurbished Appomattox County High School. Play into the lane, floating, firing, and scoring. Basketball was hanging on the front of the rim, and then it got sucked down into the net for two. And Sean Clay, some bang for his buck. Chance at a three-point play. Altavista within 18. 41-23. Nice move by Clay. Catching the ball with speed and working through the lane left to right. And that's dribbling into the dominant shooting hand, the right shooting hand. Watch basketball, much harder to do the other thing. Much harder to drive left across the lane as a right-handed shooter. Not impossible. And in fact, that's why the best ones are the best, because they can do a little bit of everything. Clay swishes the free throw. Altavista's within 17. Sean Clay's point total up to 5. Altavista down 41-24. More pressure from the Colonels. Raiders break it with a pass. Even Alexander back in the game for Appomattox. Now it's Levi Mann. He's been the hot hand at times today. So is Camden Flythe. Alexander has it back right wing. This is Riley Chandler. Jumper, right elbow, bang. Riley Chandler with just a picture-perfect jump shot. Turnover. Altavista lost the basketball. Raiders will score in transition. Another basket. The lead is up to 21 now. Altavista wants to take time again. 5:17 left to play in the third. 30-second difference. 65. Altavista 24 on 105.5 KD Country.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Shop Napa Auto Parts in Altavista, Bedford, and Gretna.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
We make a reconnection on 105.5 KD Country. The Altavista Colonels need to reconnect with their brand of basketball. I don't know that Altavista's done anything out of their character or their nature as far as their team makeup goes and how they like to play the style of the game. But Appomattox is just outplaying Altavista. Raiders have not trailed in this one. And remember, it's two teams that came in on opposite ends of streaks. Altavista had won 3 in a row. Appomattox has lost 3 in a row and dropped 4 out of their last 5. Good passing across the lane. Spence Fisher jumped up in the air from the left side. Got it over to Jamari Slayton, who was waiting right low post. There's a foul on the Altavista Colonels. It's on Jontez Lee. It should be Lee's first. Colonels didn't have many fouls to speak of in half number 1. And that could also be back. Oh, no. No, this is Altavista ball. Fouls on Appomattox. Offensive foul on Javen Alexander. Alexander had the basketball. Unless the foul was away from the ball, inbound play. Slayton shoots it into Fisher. He'll spin up in counterclockwise fashion and score. Spence Fisher with 6. Altavista with back-to-back buckets. Really needed that. Clay's going to take a charge. Flythe threw into him. A lot of contact. No whistle either way. Flythe missed the lay-in. And you can see why. Car crash down there in the lane. Hope both those guys are okay. They're on their feet. In fact, Sean Clay's got the basketball right now. He'll try to barge his way in with a right-hand dribble. Outlets back to Spence Fisher. He'll offload to Jontez Lee. Lee's streaking through the lane. Couldn't find the goal. And now the basketball's out of play. Fisher dove after it. Ended up on the floor. Assistance from Jamari Slayton to get up. It'll be Appomattox Raider possession with 4:22 left to play. And the English is your complete home center. Third quarter, 45-28. Raiders on top. Appomattox has had the lead at 21. Raiders led by 9 at the end of the first quarter. 15-point advantage at the halftime intermission. 4:12 left to play in the first quarter. Good wraparound pass. Bunch of Colonels went flying over Javen Alexander. Foul finally comes as the third player bangs into him. That was number 3, Sean Clay. Javen Alexander caught the ball 2 feet to the right of the goal in the painted area. Pump faked twice. And Garvin and Lee went flying over his body. And I believe they both made contact with the foot or the calf. Referees did not blow the whistle on that. They finally sound the alarm when Sean Clay got in there as the third party. Alexander missed both. Call that a break for the Altavista Colonels. Jontez Lee, high flying pass down the right sideline to Andrew Stone. But Stone lost the awareness slightly in regathering that pass and stepped out of bounds. 45-28's the Appomattox lead. 4:04 left to play. Referees want Appomattox to hustle over and put this basketball in play. Montravius Fitch in the game for the Raiders for his first action. Fitch had it briefly. Got it back left wing now. Looks around. No dribbles. Chest pass to Max Nitty. High left point, 30 feet away. Long pass in the corner to Javen Alexander. Now here comes the three-pointer from Riley Chandler. Misfires from 22 feet. Rebounded by Altavista. Spence Fisher gobbling that one up. Right baseline. Another errant pass from the Colonels. Spence Fisher doing the palms to the ground gesture, telling the guys to slow down. Altavista threw the basketball away again. Passing has not been accurate enough for the Colonels in this one, and you do have to give the Raiders their share of credit. I know Altavista likes to play fast, but they put Altavista in some comfortable spot, they being the Appomattox Raiders defense. Montravius Fitch passes up an open three, steps into a long two, ripped that one off the back of the iron. Hustling Javen Alexander saves the ball off of Spence Fisher's body, and it goes out of bounds. Here we go. Mass substitutions for the Colonels. It's a hockey-style line change. A fresh five for Altavista. And they will feature Malachi Ford, R.J. Slayton, Grayson Cox, Andrew Stone, and Demarion Davis is in the ball game, which I believe this will be Davis's first action. Clock is stopped for the moment. 3:25 left to play in the English is your complete home center. Third quarter. Steal by Malachi Ford. He was guarding the inbounder. He tapped that ball to himself. One of the more impressive displays of defense you can have in basketball is when the guy face guarding the inbound pass gets the steal himself. Unfortunately, Altavista lost it when they got in the front court. Raider basketball again. That's been some of the tale of this one. Altavista's defense has been sharp in spots, stifling in others. But Appomattox just one step ahead, and there's Camden Flythe, one step behind the three-point line, making it rain from the right wing. Beyond the arc again, Flythe has hit 4 times tonight. Here's Malachi Ford hinging to the hoop and scoring. I like the productivity from the senior Ford. He's got Altavista back within 18. 48-30. Still within striking distance, but you have to say the odds aren't great. Basketball teams tend to hold on to 18-point leads, especially a team like Appomattox with a winning record. They come into the contest at 11-6 despite losing their last 3 straight. 2:20 left to play in the third as the Colonels defend the basket to my right. There's a steal by Andrew Stone. Read the telegraph pass perfectly. Stone in the lane. Pump fake. Feeds it back to Demarion Davis, who is trailing. Davis can't connect on the runner. Basketball free. Basketball out of bounds. And here we go. Another line change. The Colonels are going 5 for 5 now. The new quartet stepping to the bandstand will be Jamari Slayton, Jontez Lee, Christian Garvin, Sean Clay, and Spence Fisher. Maybe this is the change. Maybe this is plan C or D or however on down the line for the permutations for Coach Casey Johnson. He's going to send in 5 new faces every chance he gets. Try to get some energy and some activity that way. You give Appomattox a different look. Ouch. Colonels have turned it over again while we were talking about the new 5. Pass went through the hands of Christian Garvin. Didn't quite secure the catch, and it didn't look like he was making a move to the basket. It's almost a clean whiff right there. It happens. But again, back to the Raiders' pressure. I think they cause a lot of that. 48-30, Appomattox by 18. Attacking the rack to my right. There's a lofted pass to Levi Mann. First year is impressed. Ball goes back to the middle for J.Q. Ferguson. Ferguson into the lane with some barnstorming. Missed the shot, got his own rebound. Second chance. There's Owen Chavis. He's playing above everybody there. Kept that one up high. Chavis did what you hear about big man should do. He got a rebound and never dribbled it. Didn't have to gather. Just went straight back to the rim for a deuce. Chavis with 8. Appomattox by 20 again. Biggest lead's been 21. Colonels will have to put the basketball back in play after the deflection. Sean Clay to inbound. Left baseline in front of me. Shoots it to Christian Garvin. Garvin will hang and score for 2. And he got hacked on the play. Garvin with a chance for the old-fashioned three-point chance. Converted one of these earlier. Colonels will need more of this. Whether it's old three-point plays where you get fouled in the act of scoring, or perhaps the new school long-range 3 points behind or beyond. Both words work. The arc. That free throw is no good from Christian Garvin, so stuck with 2. 1:20 left to play in the third quarter. Appomattox basketball. Riley Chandler can't finish with a finger roll as he tried to flourish by a couple defenders. Spence Fisher on the trot into the front court. Short pass to Sean Clay. Clay will shoot it from 15. Bricked down with Jontez Lee. Offensive rebound, scampering to the hole. And he missed. The ball rolled around the steal, but dropped off. Jontez Lee was fouled in the act of shooting. He'll step to the line left for 2. Clock stops with 1:05 in quarter number 3. Remember, it's brought to you by English's, your complete home center, North Main Street in Altavista. 50-32, Altavista down by 18. Scratch that, make it 17 as Jontez Lee is pure on his first free throw try. Second one's forthcoming. Colonels right now, I would again argue, still within reach, still in striking distance. Got to play really solid, almost perfect, and you may have to get some help from Appomattox. Jontez Lee cans both. 60 seconds left in quarter number 3. Colonels with the full court defensive pressure. Raiders have broken that across the timeline. Now it's Alexander sprinting through the lane, hoisting up with the right hand. No good. Beg your pardon, that was Ferguson. Altavista down 16. Possible momentum swing here. Straight away 3 from Spence Fisher. You bet. He nails it from 23. Here comes a momentum shift for Altavista. See how long they can hold it. They've got a steal. Yeah, momentum going the Colonels' way. Pickpocket from Slayton, and he scores off the window for 2. Timeout on the court. Appomattox is going to take the breather here with just over 32 seconds left to play in quarter number 3. Altavista is back within 11. 30-second break for us on 105.5 KD Country.
KD Country.
The final 2 minutes of this third quarter have gone the Altavista Colonels' way. The momentum shift has happened. Very good job taking a timeout right there, I think, by Appomattox head coach Rashad Kelso. With the quarter break coming up here in less than 30 seconds, I think your tendency would just be to get to that. He wants to stop this Altavista run in its tracks. Let's see if the timeout worked. Down to 20 on the timer here in the third. Raiders do have the basketball in the front court. Now the lane. It's a bounce pass to Ferguson in the corner. Thought about a 3. Thought better of it. Opted to pass away. Down to 10 seconds left in period number 3. Raiders passing around the perimeter. Not much inside the arc just yet on this possession. 4 seconds on the clock. Raiders have to hustle. Handoff play. Raiders got to go. Didn't get it off in time. Did not even attempt a shot. It was actually a pass at the buzzer. So I think the Colonels probably hold on to some momentum. Still work to do, though, as Altavista trails by 10. Appomattox 50, Altavista 40. 8 more minutes in regulation. Coming your way next on 105.5 KD Country.
Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Appomattox Raiders built their lead up to 21 in the third quarter, but Altavista with a furious rally the final couple minutes and change of period number 3 gets the Colonels within 10. I think it's a 15-4 run right now for Altavista. And I kept saying that they weren't out of it, but you got to play good, you got to play near perfect, you got to get busy, all those phrases. Well, Altavista did that. Colonels are going to try to blitz the ball handler, Max Nitty. He got double teamed at the timeline. Another time out here by Appomattox. We got to stay here. We just took 2 breaks, so we'll keep it right here. And remind you that the fourth quarter is presented by English's, your complete home center, North Main Street in Altavista, your home for Carhartt clothing for men and women. Rocky boots made right here in the USA. I think it's Nelsonville, Ohio, right, Oscar? Didn't we look that up? OB, you tuned in? Rocky boots, the manufacturing facility in southeastern Ohio. And English's, of course, has many, many more brands that you know and trust and love, many of which are made right here in the United States of America. Okay, timeout over, and let me report that the Raiders now have 2 timeouts at their disposal. Altavista just 1. That could loom large later on if this game does get closer. It feels like things are tightening up. Let's see how Appomattox can deal with the pressure. Oh, they've thrown it away out of the timeout. Great steal by Sean Clay. Clay gave it right back. Owen Chavis with the intercept. Chavis is going to give it right back. Some charity there from both teams, I would say. The first intercept from Clay was forced. Defense caused that. His giveaway less forced, and then Chavis, I think, just kind of lost track of it there. 3-pointer from Christian Garvin. Rims off. 1 and done for Altavista. Fighting to get the basketball back. Going for the trap here with 2 players at the timeline. Raiders break it. Good energy there by Appomattox to get fast and skinny, but not too fast. Now it's stolen. Sean Clay with another steal. Looking ahead. 3-on-2 fast break. Clay will rise and fire. Missed. Ball's out. Ball's going to be Appomattox's, last touched by Jontez Lee. 10-point advantage for Appomattox. Raiders led by 9 after quarter 1. 15 at the halftime break, and Appomattox built the lead up to 21 at one point, but now just a 10-point advantage for Appomattox. Looked like it was 11, but I think they adjusted the score. Oh, how about a score adjustment there from Camden Flythe? Give him an inch, and he will take 3, and that's 5 triples now for Flythe. 21 points for the senior. Jontez Lee going to do his Flythe impersonation, and he will nail it from the left corner. All nylon, no steal, direct hit from Jontez Lee. Colonels needed that. They match baskets. Still down 10. Flythe, show and go, dribbling to the backboard, missing from the left side. Colonels with a chance to get it to a single-digit deficit. 6:18 left to play in what is shaping up to be a can't-miss fourth quarter. 53-43. Colonels working the basketball around the perimeter. They're in the left forecourt, sporting the road orange jerseys. Most of the guys have a black undershirt underneath. Appomattox in the home whites defending the basket closest to the entrance here at Appomattox County High School. Fisher, lob pass into Garvin. He's outside the lane, now in the middle of it. Ready, aim, fire. Garvin missed but was fouled. Christian Garvin has that ability to get to the rim or near the rim. A lot of times, Garvin has that awareness that the defenders will try to wall up directly in front of the rim. So he'll stop his drive and hang from that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 foot kind of area. Not quite a mid-range, but definitely not the layup range either. Garvin's stroke looking good. Snake bit a little bit as that one was all around the rim and then swirled out. We get the basketball back from the referee. Look at it, fire it, in and out again. I don't think you can blame the form. I think it's just bad luck right now for Garvin. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Altavista's within 10. Chavis, open 3, coming. Bricked it off. Line drive, rebound grabbed out of the sky by Jontez Lee. Spence Fisher, he'll gallop into the front court. Took foot off the gas, then accelerated. Hand off to Lee, who needs another look. Three-pointer, no good. Couldn't steer it home from 23 feet away, left side. Raider lead still at 10. Levi Mann driving, dishing, and it's Riley Chandler that scores. Second field goal of the half. Appomattox back up a dozen, 55-43. 5:23 remains in the Englishes, your complete home center. Fourth quarter. There's Lee. Shot on 3 defenders. Might want that decision back, and the shot was nowhere close. Steal by Sean Clay. He's got the basketball back for the Altavista Colonels. Sprinting into the front court. Line drive pass to Jamari Slayton. He'll look around. Now passes cross court left side back to Clay. It's Garvin trying to circle the defense. Around the horn it goes. Spence Fisher stepping into the triple. Woefully short. Never drew iron on the air ball. 4:50 left to play in the game. In regulation anyway. Colonels down a dozen. Raiders looking to restore some order to the contest. Man, good job to knife through by Max Nitty. Had the ball up high. Not a true Euro step move, but very similar with the long strides. Clay, he'll uncork the quick triple. Nope, but Garvin, an offensive rebound. Hit on the shoulders and maybe even the left side of the dome there after a shot attempt was no good. Garvin will step back to the free throw line. This will be free throw attempts for Christian Garvin, 7 and 8 in the game. He has only made 2, but I would argue again that the form is really looking good for Christian Garvin. First one's up. That one will roll home. Altavista down 13 now, 57-44. Great bucket from Max Nitty. Really felt the defense overplay. And then a couple dribbles combined with 2 long steps to the rim for a lay-in. Garvin pounds it a couple times, eyes the rim. That one swirls in and out. None of these look bad on the misses, but unfortunately, they go in the book as a miss. And Altavista still down 13. Here's Flythe for 3. That's his spot, but he missed it. Owen Chavis, offensive rebound. Power move right up to the rim for 2. There's what the big man is so good at. Traveling violation on Altavista as they cross the timeline. Andrew Stone back in the ball game for the Colonels. He'll take Christian Garvin's place. It's Stone, Jamari Slayton, Jontez Lee, Malachi Ford, and Spence Fisher. Raiders quartet looks like Camden Flythe, Max Nitty, Levi Mann, Javen Alexander, and Owen Chavis. Inbound play to Max Nitty. Had to work hard to get free. Double team from the Colonels. They don't have the basketball yet. Nitty on the ground looking to pass it. Lee stole it. Up ahead to Jamari Slayton. Took some time to gather the ball, but when he finally got it, he laid it in for an easy 2. Altavista within 13. The scoreboard hasn't changed yet, right? Weren't they? No, they did. They went down 15 after the Owen Chavis putback bucket. So Altavista, the deficit is a baker's dozen now, which is just a fun way of saying 13. Raiders 59, Colonels 46. Timeout on the court. This is the final one for the Altavista Colonels. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. We've got under 4 to play in the fourth quarter. It's Appomattox 59, Altavista 46 on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Hoehne talking about my great friends at Lynchburg Garage Door. I just love this company. Locally owned and operated. All these guys and gals grew up in Central Virginia. They love serving this community, providing high quality service for your garage door and more. High integrity with this company as well, okay? They're going to get it done right at a fair price. Lynchburg Garage Door. You want to learn more? Check out their website. It's garagedooroflynchburg.com. Garagedooroflynchburg.com. You can call them at 434-546-0308 or just use your search engine and look up Lynchburg Garage Door. See what they can do for you. See why I love this company so much. Lynchburg Garage Door.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista Colonels use their final timeout of the ball game. We're more than midway through this fourth quarter. It's 59-46. Appomattox, the home team, leading Altavista. It would be wire to wire for the Raiders. They have not trailed in this ball game. Just kind of steadily built the lead out to a maximum of 21 in the third quarter. Altavista cut the deficit to 10 at the end of period 3. And right now the Colonels dragging 13 on the board. Malachi Ford gets the inbound, passes to the left elbow for Jamari Slayton. Deep right wing for Andrew Stone. He'll bounce cross court to Jontez Lee. Flipping over right side to Spence Fisher. Fisher got 2 hands put on him by Riley Chandler, and the whistle blows, stopping the clock with 3:39 left in the fourth quarter. Every possession critical right now for Altavista. I would argue you almost have to be perfect to erase a 13-point lead in under 4 minutes. Although it does happen. It happens all the time, really. But it doesn't mean it's easy. Jamari Slayton hustling through the lane. Lost the basketball and got it back. Good job there by Slayton. Here's an open 3 from Andrew Stone. In and out. There's Jamari Slayton. Offensive rebound. Floating, firing, and scoring from 9 feet away. Boy, Jamari Slayton with, I think you have to say, his best ball game of the year. And I'm not just talking about the points. He does have 15 of those, by the way. Colonels are within 11. Need a stop. Need multiple stops for Altavista. 3:05 left to play. If you're the Raiders, continue to play your game. Ouch, they've thrown the basketball into the front row. Turnover. Just as I said that, a high pass from Max Nitty. You have to resist the urge to, I think, deviate from what has worked for Appomattox. And some coaches will say when you're trying to protect the lead, well, you do have to do that. You have to slow down. So there are different schools of thought there. Don't misunderstand me, basketball fans. And I think each coach and each fan is entitled to their own theory. Spence Fisher fakes the 3, 2 dribbles. Passes to center for Jamari Slayton. He'll bounce to a streaking Sean Clay, who rattles it home as he flies through the lane, left to right. Colonels are within 9. A single-digit deficit for the first time since the second quarter. Altavista has been down double digits since the first half. They are within 9 right now. Time waning, though. 2:25 left to play in the fourth. I think the Raiders have gone into a little bit of a keep-away, stall ball concept. Keep the floor spread if you're Appomattox. But again, I would argue don't lose all of your attacking aggressiveness. 2:21 left to play after the ball got kicked out of bounds. Here's a drive and a poke away from Altavista. Deflection will go out of play, and Appomattox will restart. Every dribble, every successful pass gets Appomattox one step closer to victory. 59-50. Raiders by 9. They throw it inbounds near the midcourt stripe. Jontez Lee, solo coverage. It's man-to-man defense right now for the Colonels. Now here comes the double team. Raiders had the basketball knocked in the backcourt. That's okay, not a violation. Colonels touched it. Chavis driving, bullied a defender away, and they're going to call it an offensive foul. Second time Chavis has been whistled for being a bit too handsy with the arms. We touched on that, I think it was at halftime. You can use that shoulder. You can really lean in and give a guy a lot of a shoulder, but when that arm extends, it becomes an easier call for the referee. 2 minutes left to play in the game, and the Colonels are within 9. Slayton overshot the mark on a jump shot from the right side. It's rebounded by Max Nitti. Nitti, crouching dribble, keeping it away from defenders. Fisher swatted it out of bounds in the backcourt. The energy right now for Altavista is at a 10. Here comes another timeout for the Appomattox Raiders. I want to stay here. This will be the Raiders' second to last timeout. The fun word for that is penultimate, right? Means it's not the final one. They have one more timeout. Altavista has no timeouts at their disposal. So, if this ball game does get closer, if the Colonels hit a 3 or 2, or maybe even just regular baskets, you're going to see a furious, wild finish and a scramble. And the coaches are going to lose their voice trying to yell over this crowd, which has come alive at times. They haven't really had many big pops volume-wise. But I think the Raider fans have been very appreciative of their ball club, who leads by 9 right now. Appomattox 59, Altavista 50. My name is Kyle Hoehne. Katie is our sound engineer. You're the final piece of the puzzle. Thank you for listening wherever you are at this Friday night, rainy in Central Virginia. We got folks to tune in from all over. Ken Bryant down in Florida. My guy Austin Higley down in southern Mississippi. They're still getting over that crazy snowstorm they had down there. Long Branch Penny Whistle in California. Jay Rosser, who was a big part of the Altavista Athletics Hall of Fame as well. Jay Rosser, I think he's still in Manhattan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. Reach out and touch somebody. Get in touch with us if you want us to talk about you on the broadcast. Raiders do get the basketball back in play after the timeout. 1:40 remains. Colonels have not committed a foul in this fourth quarter, so they would need to foul 5 times to stop the clock, and there's one. That's where, five fresh coming in again for Altavista. Let me say that's where the new format, where the fouls reset every quarter and 5 gets you in the bonus, can hurt, because you don't carry over those fouls from the third quarter to potentially stop the clock with 7 infractions. New 5 on the court are Grayson Cox, Andrew Stone, Demarion Davis, R.J. Slayton, and Malachi Ford. Those guys will commit the intentional foul, second intentional foul. Clock stops with 92 ticks on the board. I think this 5 is going to stay out there until the Colonels put Appomattox on the free throw line. And it's probably the right call here. Altavista is down by 9. Andrew Stone will run out and catch Max Nitti as he comes to the ground, leaping to make a catch on the long inbound pass. 2 seconds go off the board. And Coach Johnson's going to be watching that clock operator, too. Remember the rule. It's not supposed to start until the guy that touches it gets his hands on it when it goes in. 1 second off the clock as Stone fouls Nitti again. It's an intentional foul, but within the rules there, not one of those flagrants or anything. Appomattox by 9. They throw it in again, deep in the backcourt. Demarion Davis will hustle, and he'll be the player to put his hands on Max Nitti. That's foul number 5. Well played by Coach Casey Johnson. Excellent use of the strategy and also the bench players. I would argue those 5 guys did a good job of executing that game plan. And now the other 5 wait at the scorer's table to come back in after free throw number 1 from Max Nitti, who has not been to the charity line tonight for Appomattox. The Raiders, due in large part to Altavista not committing many fouls, have only 3 free throws attempted. That one rattles home from Riley Chandler, and it puts Appomattox up a full 10 points again. 60-50 with bang on 1:28 left to play in the fourth quarter. Javen Alexander checks back in for Appomattox, and the new 5 for Altavista are a familiar 5. It's Garvin, Jamari Slayton, Spence Fisher, Jontez Lee, and Sean Clay. All capable three-point shooters, by the way. Not saying that you have to have one for Altavista, but now the Colonels are down 11 after Max Nitti finds the jackpot on both freebies. Garvin driving, comes down just outside lane line left, and he had his hands put on him by number 3, Riley Chandler. This sends Spence Fisher to the free throw line for 2. It wasn't on the floor foul, but back to the bonus. Both teams are in the bonus right now. 61-50, Altavista trailing by 11. Long conversation here before the basketball gets tossed to Spence Fisher. Southpaw Jr. will fire and make the first one. Free throws will be critical for both ball clubs. Oh, let me point out, Jontez Lee playing without the hand wrap in this game. He had the right hand, the shooting hand, heavily bandaged for a full 2 weeks there, about 5 or 6 games, I think. But he's got the tape off. Second one from Fisher, swirls out. That one was 3/4 of the way down, but it spun out. Somewhat indicative and reflective of the night for Altavista. Raiders in the front court playing keep away. They can't do it. Steal by Sean Clay. Colonel's got to cash in. Stone for 3. No good. Rebounded by Christian Garvin. He's going to get the basketball back out to the perimeter. Slayton looking at the rim. Now driving. Floating over the defenders. Missed. Spencer had his hands on the offensive rebound, but Spence Fisher can't control it. Raiders in the front court. Sean Clay will swipe at the basketball as Levi Mann was sprint dribbling down the left sideline. Stops the clock with 52.1 seconds left. If you make that right there for Altavista, you have momentum, and the Colonels are within 7. All is not lost, but the door continues to close that much more. You make that three-pointer right there, that might feel like kicking the door in for the Colonels. Levi Mann will get the aforementioned door, the barrier, closer to the place that Appomattox wants it, slamming it shut with 1 free throw. Second one up, second one also good. Perfect swish. That might feel like slamming it shut now as Appomattox is up 12, 63-51. 50 seconds to play. Got to get shots up quickly if you're Altavista here. Can't be choosy. Basketball knocked out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Flythe had his hands on it, and he deflected it into Jontez Lee. Only thing Lee could do was try to save that basketball, even though it's going to be off Flythe. But instead, it's Raider possession. Jontez Lee touched it last in a spot of bad luck. And I've talked about Colonels a little bit, some on the bad luck side tonight, but don't misunderstand me. Appomattox has earned this. The Raiders, I think, have played outstanding, very close to A-plus ball for 4 quarters. Maybe a little bit of a letdown there in the third period for Appomattox. You could say that as Altavista trimmed a 21-point deficit down to 10. But that's about the only mark against the Raiders on this basketball examination tonight. Not the final test for either team. And worth pointing out is there is a foul 60 feet away from the hoop that will send Max Nitti to the line. Let me point out, if you don't know, Altavista is Class 1 single A ball club. Raiders, Class 2. These teams would not see each other in the postseason. And it doesn't mean they didn't want this one dearly. Both teams did. 36 seconds left to play. Nitti missed the first, missed the second. Sean Clay rising high, getting up the ladder to grab that one for Altavista. Colonels have got to go. Jontez Lee catches a bounce pass and scores from close range. Altavista down 10 again. Clock ticking, 25 seconds left to play. Pass goes into Riley Chandler. He hugs the basketball, and Spence Fisher hugs him. Intentional foul to stop the clock. 22.6 on the board. Got some fans filing out. It does look like the door is very close to being closed for the final time on the Altavista Colonels. Love the fight-back effort. You have to love how Appomattox really rallied and recovered from losing a 21-point lead. They never lost it totally, of course. Raiders' deficit got trimmed at 9 at one point in this fourth quarter. But the Raiders, I would argue, never really out of control. They did a great job to restore order to the game from their perspective. 1 of 2, that trip to the charity line. 15 seconds left to play in the ball game. Spence Fisher, kind of a desperation heave from 30 feet. It actually hit the backboard first. Spun out and then out of play. Colonels will put it back in with 10.7 seconds left. Altavista doesn't have enough time right now, but they can hit a shot here, make it look closer. Jontez Lee shoots from outside the paint. Short. Ball's on the ground. Appomattox has it. Altavista will not foul. And the final buzzer is about to sound on what is a very quality win for the Appomattox Raiders. I think the Raiders got to feel great about this. Beating Altavista 64-53. Appomattox by 11 to snap a 3-game losing streak that the Raiders were on. A 3-game losing slide. They had lost 4 out of their last 5 as well, but Appomattox will now move to 12-6 with the victory. Colonel's 3-game winning streak is busted. Altavista now 9-7 on the season. Appomattox wins it 64-53. We're back in just a moment to wrap it up for you here on 105.5.